Hello traders, good day to you all. Today is the 2nd of December 2013. This is Tom Williams from Opteck, and this is the daily market review for the current market status. As I'm always doing on Mondays, I will go over the entire weekly calendar. We've got a very important issue coming up at the end of the week. But already from today, we've got several indications regarding the US market. As you can see, we've received a good announcement on the pound, and we had general announcements regarding the Japanese yen that, if I'm not mistaken, it gotten weaker during the night time. We will see that through the charts. And the most important issue this week will be eventually at the end of the week on Friday. We will receive an announcement regarding the extension program from the Federal Bank in the United States. And as you can see today at 1:30, we've got an announcement from the Federal Bank, from the Chairman Bernanke. Again, usually he delivers an indication regarding the interest rate and regarding the target of the unemployment rate, what is the position regarding the economy generally, and you know that a lot of traders are trying to understand from small details whether the extension program is going toward an end or will continue. Generally, the market is expecting the extension program to change at March, but we can see beginning of that specific reaction already from this week. But let's see what we've got next during the entire week. Generally, for Mondays, it's a very interesting Monday. Usually I'm saying that Mondays are expressing low amount of liquidity, and we can't find strong and long movements, although we don't need strong and long movements as binary option traders. But still, we can see that we had several red announcements, which is very strange for Mondays, and very strong announcements regarding the US market, both of them. So we're expecting to see a lot of liquidity driven into the market, although this is a Monday. Tomorrow we will have several announcements as well regarding the Australian dollar, pretty early in the morning. After that, an announcement regarding the pound, and beside that, generally, I do expect to see a quiet day, although Tuesdays they've got larger amount of liquidity than Mondays. So I do expect to see movements on the chart. We will analyze the chart for the longer term to see what is our expectation. Wednesday, several very important announcements, trade balance both on the Canadian market and the US market. We've got the Bank of Canada statement and some other announcements, all of them red. You can see a great opportunity on Wednesday at 1:30. We've got both announcements at the same time regarding the Canadian dollar and the US dollar, and then at 3 o'clock the same pattern, the Canadian dollar and US dollar both at the same time. Thursday will be a very liquidized day as well. A very important week we've got coming up this week, not like the last week where the US market was in a vacation. We had a very low amount of liquidity. It seems like the market is returning to its regular formation, and on Friday, as I said, we've got the non-farm employment change, and that will definitely deliver liquidity to the market. And again, we're expecting to hear from the Federal Bank on Friday as well. So let's begin the session. Another thing that I wanted to say is that indeed it seems like we're coming out of the period that we were until now regarding low liquidity and problematic situations in the market. We managed to understand what's going on in the market, although it was a very quiet market. And I'd like to remind you that I said that my expectation is that the gold will get weaker, the dollar will get stronger, and let's see what actually happened on the charts. That was my expectation last week. In this case, I'd like to go to the dollar index. That will be my first perspective. Through the dollar index, we can see very nicely, I stated last week that when we'll cross this trend line, we will have a very strong position toward a stronger dollar. And I said that because we can see a structure of 5 waves climbing up through this area and an ABC pattern dropping down. It is a very, very condensed area over here, and when we'll cross that, we'll begin a new impulse movement higher. 1, 2, 3 climbing up, a 4 will drop down, and 5th will climb up as well as the first initial uptrend movement. Again, that was the expectation last week, and I said that when we'll see a cross beyond the trend line, we will have an additional liquidity to the market. The market will be organized and it'll be more efficient to use structure and our strategy to join movements on the charts. Let's see what's going on with the dollar at the moment. At the moment, it seems like, according to our strategy, we've got a potential for an uptrend, but my expectation from the dollar is to form a full corrective pattern, meaning that we've got the A dropping down, we've got the B climbing up, and we are expecting to see the C dropping down approximately till this area. That will be a logical target for this downtrend movement before we'll continue higher, meaning that for the next 1 hour, 2 hours, I'm expecting the market to bounce backward and forward, and it's logical expecting the announcement from Bernanke. Again, when Bernanke will state whatever he wants regarding economy, then we will see a drop down, my expectation, and an uptrend will continue to follow a stronger dollar in the market. Let's see what was the expression of this stronger dollar in the market for the last half a day or a bit more than that. Let's see what was the effect, the expression on the gold. The gold as well, since this morning, dropped down, continued its downtrend movement. Again, regarding the gold, I've stated that my perspective, although we had an uptrend over here that we began to drop down, the target that I gave to the gold was $1,100, and we're going toward that target. I will correct my analysis during the structure that we'll receive. At the moment, it seems that we've completed 5-wave structure, we've completed a corrective pattern climbing up, and our expectation is a continuance of a downtrend. Last week I gave you this trend line indicating that once we'll cross it, then the market will continue its downtrend movement. And we had that's an hourly chart. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of a downtrend movement, a very profitable movement that we could have used, especially in our markets. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. So since this downtrend movement began, we had a specific indication over here. According to our strategy, that was a good entry point, a good trade for a put option, and at the moment it seems that like we can't really join the current movement. We had a first leg dropping down, second leg climbing up, a third leg dropping down, fourth will climb up as well. That will give us indication on the stochastic, and we'll be able to rejoin a downtrend movement. That will be a great entry point for a continuance of a downtrend. Let's look at the Japanese yen indication, understanding who's stronger and who's weaker in the market at the moment. We had several large changes occurring on the charts. The Swiss franc, which was one of the strongest currencies last week, all of a sudden dropped down, and it's in an equivalent point with the Japanese yen. 50 indicating an equivalent point with the Japanese yen. The dollar at the moment is the strongest currency that we can find in the market. After that, we can say that the pound and the New Zealand dollar is the that we can call them the stronger group. The dollar, the pound, and the New Zealand. The Australian dollar and the Canadian dollar are among the middle group. They represent the middle group. The Swiss franc, the euro, and the Japanese yen are the weaker group. So we've got stronger group: dollar, pound, New Zealand, euro, Japanese yen, and Swiss franc are the weaker. And and at the moment you can see that the difference between the dollar 659, and the gold 45 it's pretty large, meaning that we're expecting to see an additional liquidity expressed through the gold as well. A good potential for an uptrend movement. I've stated that several minutes ago for an uptrend movement on the dollar versus Japanese yen. It seems like we've completed a corrective pattern, an ABC dropping down. We had an indication with the stochastic. The RSI was above. A plain simple trade for an uptrend, a great potential and a great beneficial trade. Let's go to the on-demand instruments. Let's see what we can expect to see. Australian dollar versus the New Zealand dollar. I wasn't checking that. Let's go back to the Japanese yen test. The New Zealand is indicating 58, meaning very strong, and the Australian dollar 56, not so different between them, not so large difference. So I can say that the Australian dollar versus the New Zealand will continue bouncing backward and forward, although we've received a very good trade over here, a put option. From this moment and beyond, we can see that they both bounce at the same strength. 15-minute chart will reveal another choppy overlapping movement, indicating that they express approximately the same strength in the market. Australian dollar versus US dollar, both very strong. I would definitely leave this chart alone. Euro versus the Australian dollar, no indication here as well. Pretty strong currencies together. Australian dollar, Japanese yen should continue its uptrend because the Australian dollar not significantly stronger than the Japanese yen, but enough to express liquidity. A 1-minute trade on this asset, Australian dollar versus Japanese yen, will deliver several good trades, but again, it's not the better probability in the market at the moment. The better probability is the dollar versus the Japanese yen. A 1-minute trade, a 1-minute chart will deliver good potential trades according to the strategy of the 60-second, and that will be a very beneficial trade to continue with. And again, I'm combining all the information that I already talked about. The Elliott wave analysis implying that the dollar should continue its expression of strength in the market, and the Japanese yen is not likely to overcome its weakness, and at the moment it seems like the uptrend movement on the dollar Japanese yen is pretty short, and you should look for pullbacks on the stochastic to rejoin the uptrend as much as you can. A very beneficial, great potential on one asset. Let's move on with the on-demand instruments. Euro Japanese yen, again a 51 indication, not strong enough for us, approximately the same strength as the Japanese yen, so we definitely leave it alone. Pound Japanese yen 58, good potential for an uptrend. We had an indication at the moment. It seems like we're bouncing toward trying to cross the trend line. A cross beyond and a close beyond a trend line will be an indication for an uptrend. That will be a great trade. Pound versus the US dollar. It seems like the pound is expressing very nice strength in the market, although we're expecting the dollar to gain strength. Again, the combination between two strong currencies will not deliver potential trades, so try to avoid trading this asset. Euro versus US dollar, a put option. I've already indicated that through the group. I'm sure that you've received the indication through your brokers. A downtrend movement was located over here, cross on the stochastic, very nice RSI. As I said, looking at the charts, having this additional liquidity is giving us a clean and very confident structure that we can rely on. Our indicators are very accurate with our needs, and that's you see how many good potential trades we had already, and I do expect to see some more. Again, the additional liquidity driven into the market from the announcement regarding the US dollar will definitely give us another pullback in the close future, and we'll be able to rejoin the already going movements. Beside that, I can see no other potential, but again, my expectation is a continuance of an uptrend on the dollar index, a continuance of a downtrend on the gold. Do not participate in a trade before you'll receive a specific indication. If a specific indication is added to the charts, then be my guest. Take the trades because, again, today we've got a very unusual Monday, and I will definitely encourage you to use this very, very unique characteristics of Monday. Again, tomorrow, the day after that, Thursday, Friday, we've got a very nice week in terms of announcements. A lot of liquidity is expected to express on the charts. And again, just pay attention to the Japanese yen indication, understanding exactly who's stronger and who's weaker at the moment. I remind you, the potential of changing strength in the market from one side to another, being the strongest currency at one point and 5 minutes after that turning into a weaker currency, it's almost um, it's very rare. And this is why, while you locate a good potential trade on the strongest one, on strongest currency in front of the weakest currency, the potential is huge. Again, just pay attention to the the Japanese yen indication, seeing whether strength has changed in the market for during your analysis, and locate the better probability in the market. You've got a very nice market going on today, and our expectation is to see a continuance of that specific liquidity during the entire week. From here, from Opteck, I'd like to wish you all the best with your trades. Have a pleasant day, and bye bye.